Hey guys, red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. If you're just joining us, I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down here. Turn on the bell notification. Leave that awesome like on the video. That's how we do it here. Brought to you by Caravana do Araudo. You can secure your spot at Flamengo's games in the Libertadores, the Brazilian Championship, and the Copa do Brasil with the Araudo Caravan. It will be in the description, in the pinned comment, the WhatsApp contact, so you can get in touch with them and secure your trip with people who work the right way properly, so you won't be left hanging or left outside like some others out there. And you know that with Caravana do Araudo, in Rio de Janeiro, you have the ticket included, local assistance, everything included. So get in touch right now so you'll be all set when it comes to travel. For Mango games and Champions League 2, okay? There's Champions League 2, and remember that you can lose weight in a healthy way with Mais Cabelo, the My Slim program from Mais Cabelo. You lose weight and don't have hair loss, so it's very important for you. Well, let's go. Let's bring some important information here, and remember that you can secure it, okay? Right now, on YouTube shopping, your official jersey, your official Flamengo jacket, this one is the retro one, man, that they released. It's spectacular. This retro jacket from the 90s is the most beautiful thing in the world. I'm in love. You can get your official Mango products here on YouTube shopping, Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel, in partnership with YouTube Shopping and also with Shopee, which is Mango's sponsor. Well, let's go. Bringing you some important information here, and before anyone says anything, right, man? I'm only here so it doesn't look like I'm wearing a Vasco shirt, okay? If I put this on, it'll look like a Vasco shirt, so I just wear it here during the recording because I can't be wearing a Vasco shirt while we're driving, right? For God's sake, right? Seriously, right? But I'm here with my seatbelt on. Let's go. So I'm here to bring you some very important information about the transfer market. There's also information here about the millions that Flamengo could make. And we're also going to talk here about the situation with Luiz Araújo, right? Flamengo is also considering at least a friendly match, and we're going to bring you a lot of information, okay? I'm going to start with this issue of the friendly match. Flamengo is considering at least one friendly match during the World Cup break. We had Pablo Rafael Rua saying that he talked to members of Flamengo's board and the planning is already being discussed. But nothing has been finalized yet. A match against Grêmio is possible, and there's also talk about games in Argentina and a rumor about a mini tournament involving Flamengo, Grêmio, and Corinthians as well. However, nothing is official behind the scenes at Flamengo. So, Pablo Rafael Rua brought this up. I had this information as well. And there's also a possibility of a match against South American teams, okay? So, this is during the World Cup break. It's to keep the players who aren't called up in shape. Now, let's talk about Luiz Araújo's situation, which I was discussing with you because we've already mentioned it. And then Marcos Antônio, because we've already told you that Flamengo could negotiate Luiz Araújo, that there was interest from Arab, Turkish, and Russian football in possibly signing Luiz Araújo. During the show, Os Donos da Bola, former player and host Neto, stated that defensive midfielder Marcos Antônio, currently at São Paulo, should become a Flamengo player after the World Cup. He stated that Luiz Araújo is joining Flamengo. The midfielder had already been rumored to join Flamengo at the beginning of the season. In contact with a source, our team, Paparazzo Rubro Negro, reached out to a source connected to Flamengo's management. We found out that there is still nothing finalized between Flamengo and Marcos Antônio after the World Cup. Even with Nito's information, what we are hearing is that nothing has been finalized yet between Flamengo and Marcos Antônio. Now, a lot of fans are saying, oh, it would be good for Flamengo to sign Marcos Antônio and move another player, not Luiz Araújo, but some other player. Then I saw some people commenting about the possibility of Cebolinha. I'll talk about that here. Also still involving negotiations between the two clubs. Journalist Raiza Simplicio reported that São Paulo is interested in bringing back Luiz Araújo, who is currently at Flamengo. So they want to sign Luiz Araújo. And then if it's a deal for them, it's more interesting if it's Luiz Araújo. Yeah. Here on Twitter, for example, CRF Matos, Alexandre Matos, sent me some interesting information regarding the matter of Marcos Antonio. Yeah. Look, Cebolinha, with his contract ending, would make more sense. I actually think it would make more sense. His contract ends this year. He can already sign a pre-contract in the middle of the year. And Seafood Brazil says Flamengo is considering offering Luiz Araújo. That's not true. It's not true. A source connected to the board, as I told you, assured me that Flamengo is not offering Luiz Araújo. And then the article also mentions Everton Cebolinha for Marcos Antonio with São Paulo involved. Besides involving a player, the team from Rio would also include money in the proposal. What I was told through Radar da Bola, what I was told is that this source connected to the board said there's nothing about Flamengo offering Luiz Araújo plus money. Flamengo really, it's true, Flamengo is interested in signing Marcos Antonio. They've been interested in signing Marcos Antonio for a while, but Flamengo doesn't want to include Luiz Araújo in the deal. Regarding Cebolinha, I believe so, because Cebolinha is a player that Flamengo knows they will end up losing. At the end of the season, he can already sign a pre-contract in the middle of the year, so it would be an interesting situation for Flamengo. Flamengo, signing Marcos Antonio because you're already going to lose the player and then you can be covered. Look, we have two situations to talk about here. First, I've already talked to you about the matter of this possibility of Flamengo playing these friendlies, but I wanted to talk here to bring the opinion of two friends, Thiago Asmar, who tagged me in the collab, and everything is really weird, Everything is really weird. Let's see here. Take a look.
It's just messing around.
It can only be a joke.
The STJD, Superior Court of Sports Justice, which loves to get some media attention, usually only shows up to embarrass itself, decided to charge Flamengo for a fight between fans outside the stadium.
Outside the WP.
It's after the Flamengo versus Vasco match at Maracanã.
Outside
the stadium. Guys, seriously, are you saying now that the military police of the state of Rio de Janeiro is Flamengo's responsibility? That the security of the streets around Maracanã is Flamengo's responsibility? Let me say something to the STJP. I know they're not used to going out on game days. If you want to file charges to strip teams of their home game rights, every team, when there are fights between organized fan groups outside the stadiums, won't have any team playing at home anymore. There won't be any more fans.
So,
the STJP should be ashamed because wanting to take away Flamengo's home game rights. When Flamengo's playing for the title, when Flamengo's doing really well in the championship because of some trouble outside the stadium, it's a joke. And another thing to question, the complaint was made by a prosecutor from the STJP in São Paulo. So I ask, which team is fighting for the Brazilian title with Flamengo? Palmeiras. Where is Palmeiras from?
São Paulo. By the way, you probably got the same information I did, Pilhado. The guy is known for only wearing a green tie, okay? Over there in São Paulo, it's shameful, right?
São Paulo. Some things reflect really badly on the STJP, honestly. It's good for people to call it out. It's good to say that they're embarrassing themselves, that it's a disgrace. Why do they want to remove Flamengo's home advantage? Because of trouble outside the stadium on the subway ramp. That must be a joke. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
With the look of a Brazilian fan. But this can only be bullshit.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And look, is it just a coincidence? Simon Leto, okay?
Coincidence? After Palmeiras, Fonseca paid a visit to the CBF. The STJD charged Flamengo because of a fight between fans and police outside Maracanã Stadium, far from the stadium.
And now Flamengo might even
get a suspension from playing at home. After Palmeiras said they visited the CBF and released that false statement on social media, which even prompted a statement on Twitter. Is it a coincidence? What could have happened? 9 days after the match against Vasco, Dalton sat on this complaint until a more opportune moment. The question still hangs in the air. Guys.
Gente, this is surreal. I was even going to show you guys here. I'll leave this here to discuss the millions Flamengo could earn. I'll save that for early tomorrow morning. We're going to release a video early in the morning. There's a lot more information. There's a lot for us to bring about the transfer market and everything else early in the morning on the channel. But it's important to bring it up here. Man, with every minute that passes, I'm even more shocked because those guys lied, man. Those guys took a story, told only half of it, omitted things, Man, this is a disgrace. Official profile, man. Official profile. Check this out. I'm visiting the guy's official profile. And then there's no point in coming to talk. You guys talk every day. They're talking about Flamengo. They accuse, they release fake statements. We have to respond. We have to respond, okay? They've already taken it down, but screenshots last forever, okay? It's right here, look. The readers added the context they thought people might like to know. The CBF did not admit the mistake in the play that led to the goal, contrary to what the statement claims. The CBF does admit that it is a judgment call, which is why there was no punishment for the refereeing team. It's right here, look. It's taking notes on Twitter. Then, obviously, they pulled some strings, deleted it, and the note isn't there anymore. But it is. It's surreal, man. It's surreal. It's surreal. And there's no way around it. We have to respond every day. We have to share this information every day because this is absurd. This is a shame. That's it. Please follow, like, and share on all platforms. On YouTube, subscribe below and turn on notifications with the bell. Leave a like on the video. Thanks for being here. Greetings, Brunegas. This is Flamengo. Big hug. Thanks. I'm out.